Tonight on KGW News.
What are you doing?
The Washington man facing serious trouble for attacking a protected seal. Plus,
it became clear that there were a number of people sick and that they were getting sicker.
How an Oregon doctor on board the cruise ship hit by an outbreak helped his fellow passengers. Then, the new warning over an organized ring of thieves targeting local gyms. How police say they're racking up thousands on credit cards before victims even know they've been hit.
And the Portland Pickles are back, and so are the fans.
You get a tighter knit, stronger community for these smaller teams than you even do for the big ones.
But first to our top story, and a Vancouver foster parent who's cared for more than 50 children over a decade, now accused of child sex abuse. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. Let's go right to Alma McCarty in the newsroom. Alma, we should warn our viewers, some of these details are disturbing.
Yeah, David, the suspect in this case has been a foster parent in Vancouver, like you said, for more than a decade. And police worry there may be additional victims that haven't come forward.
A Vancouver man who'd fostered dozens of children now faces a series of charges, from child molestation to rape and assault. According to court documents, a minor, previously in the suspect's care as a foster child for 3 years, reported multiple instances of sexual abuse. The most recent, he said, happened 2 weekends ago during a visit to the home. The teen said his primary concern in reporting what happened was so this doesn't happen again and to anyone else. Last week, Vancouver police executed a search warrant and arrested 62-year-old Daryl Slack at his home. Officers say he'd been a foster parent to more than 50 children between 2013 and 2025.
My first thought when I saw the date was that the perpetrator was a foster parent when I was a foster parent.
Sarah Desjardins is the executive director of Fosterful, a nonprofit supporting kids experiencing foster care.
Our job is to be with them every step of the way.
Recently, they started the Caregiver Support Project, providing an extra set of eyes and a confidant for foster children.
We're providing a trusted adult that gets to spend time with that kid and builds skills, talks about advocating for themselves, about protecting themselves, about their own bodily autonomy. We're coaching these kids every step of the way, if it's called for, of course. And it's also just an added layer of protection and support for the caregiver.
Her team wasn't aware of this case or this foster parent. While she says the vast majority of foster homes have hearts of gold, tough situations like this are part of their purpose.
We want to create that positive change and help the trajectory of foster care change. So we've chosen to place ourselves in the middle of it and not shy away from the hard stuff.
The suspect, Daryl Slack, is due in Clark County Court tomorrow afternoon. David?
Alma McCarty with our top story there. Thank you, Alma. In an update, in another tough story, a Portland firefighter arrested for sending sexually explicit messages, including images to a child, has now pleaded not guilty to all charges. 59-year-old Vincent Alvarez was in court this afternoon. Investigators say he sent messages to a minor in Deschutes County, including from a Northeast Portland fire station. Portland Fire and Rescue placed him on leave after he was arrested. Meanwhile, Portland police says 6 teenage girls are now safe after they were rescued from sex trafficking. Officers say the girls as young as 13 were all found along 82nd Avenue and within 3 weeks of each other, though it's not clear if there is more of a connection.
As we work these investigations, I believe we'll find a thread or something that connects all these victims together.
The thing that we really need survivors to come forward with is trafficking, right? How they got there, who helped them get there, who's facilitating this, who's gaining the money from it.
This week, Portland City Council approved an ordinance that holds business owners accountable for human or drug trafficking near their properties. A business can be labeled a chronic nuisance if 3 or more reports are filed within 90 days, encouraging it, or rather requiring it, to enhance security and better train its staff. A reminder, if you or someone you know is a survivor of sexual assault, help is available 24/7. The resource to start with, the National Sexual Assault Hotline, the number 800-656-4673.
Well, when they're on the ship, I'm very concerned because the ability to treat somebody at that critical state here on this boat is non-existent.
We are hearing tonight from an Oregon doctor on board the cruise ship that is the site of the Hantavirus outbreak, one that has killed at least 3 people. And while over 100 passengers are still on board, health officials across 4 continents are now working to track those who've disembarked to determine who may have been exposed. That includes in the U.S. The WHO cautioning this is not the next pandemic and reiterating the risk to the public remains low. Devin Haskins spoke with the Bend oncologist who has 2 roles, passenger and physician.
5 weeks ago, Dr. Stephen Kornfeld started his dream trip, spending his days watching and seeing some of his favorite birds. Here he is, standing amongst penguins.
I do a lot of bird watching trips and many bird watching trips, and this has just been a dream trip for me for a long time because it goes to islands that you cannot get to any other way.
But that dream trip soon went sideways. Passengers started getting sick, and then one man died on April 11th.
At the time, there was no sense that it was an infectious disease. We thought it was just one of those things, and the cruise continued.
Dr. Kornfeld, an oncologist from Bend, soon started seeing other passengers also get sick and asked the ship's crew if he could help. That's when he learned the ship's doctor was also very ill.
I just sort of fell into the role of ship physician, and as things deteriorated and more people got sick.
He says he treated 2 passengers who were medically evacuated on Wednesday and tried to treat another passenger who ultimately passed away.
I felt a little, I was a bit on my own, having to take care of these people and trying to get them medically evacuated.
The World Health Organization says there have been 5 confirmed cases and 3 suspected infections of the hantavirus. 3 people have died. It's a virus that is spread from rodents to humans, and health officials say a rare strain of the virus has been detected that can spread between humans.
While ships have a lot of medical equipment, they're not geared for this kind of event.
Kornfeld says the mood on the ship has settled down a bit, and he hasn't seen any passengers with new symptoms in several days.
We're still, kind of having meals in the dining room, but kind of COVID era meals. Everybody's spaced out because the ships only half full now, and we're all wearing masks.
Dr. Kornfeld said infectious disease experts are now on the ship. The cruise ship should be in the Canary Islands off the west coast of Africa on Saturday, where passengers will disembark. David.
Devin Haskins reporting there. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, new at 11, Beaverton police are warning about an organized theft crew targeting fitness centers. Investigators identified 3 suspects they say stole a man's credit card while he was working out at a Beaverton gym. They then fraudulently obtained a Costco membership and allegedly bought nearly $19,000 worth of gold bars. Police believe these men are Eastern European and they're linked to similar cases in at least 5 Western states. Multnomah County commissioners are considering a ban on needle and syringe distribution near schools. It's something many parents say should already be in place. Advocates, however, argue handing out the supplies helps prevent infections and overdoses.
We have mountains of evidence that show harm reduction services do not increase drug use in the community.
A lot of us out here need those supplies, but relocation is understandable. It shouldn't be around children.
It's not clear yet how the county's ban would be enforced. Commissioners set to vote on it by the end of the month. And Oregon Supreme Court has unanimously upheld a Washington County law that bans sales of flavored and menthol tobacco. The decision gives other Oregon counties a potential roadmap to enact their own bans, or in Multnomah County's case, to unpause a ban. The decision comes 2 days after the FDA authorized the sale of flavored e-cigarettes for adults for the first time. Let's switch to a live look over the Rose City on this Thursday night, or rather we should say the state capitol in Salem, after a nice warm-up this afternoon in the spring sunshine. Chief Meteorologist Matt Svanos here with the first look ahead to Friday and the weekend. Matt?
Hey, David. Yeah, the weekend is still looking pretty good. We're going to see a cool down on Sunday, but all in all, really nice. Hey, speaking of cool downs, look at the marine layer at the coast. Notice the clouds are moving south to north. We're looking to the west here, maybe a little bit southwest. Sun was still breaking through as we rolled on this time lapse, but still, the marine layer clouds are going to be forming up, and there are some high clouds coming over as well. Now, this morning, those marine layer clouds melted away from north to south. Tomorrow's going to be more of a west to east affair, which means it'll be a little bit slower. At the same time, we have high clouds coming over, so it's going to be tough to completely clear the clouds out. And because of that, I think we'll stay in the upper 60s for highs 68, by the way, is exactly average for tomorrow. Sunset at 8:26 as the days, of course, continue to get longer. Then, of course, there is Mother's Day, and Mom, yes, we've got you in mind. Forecast for Mother's Day is looking a little cloudier, a little cooler than Saturday, but notice there's no rain in the crayon forecast, up to 75 in the afternoon. David?
I love that graphic. Could use it all the time. Thanks, Matt. All right, new tonight, a sure sign of spring as the Portland Pickles switched on the lights at Walker Stadium, and new this year, soccer, as the Portland Bangers and the Portland Cherry Bombs join the Lentz Park lineup. Catherine Cook got a sneak peek and a look at tryouts for the Pickles All-Stars.
To make the Portland Pickles All-Star team, there are do's.
First and foremost, be a little bit athletic.
And don'ts.
To not make the team, I don't know, maybe like you have to not like beer, I guess. Don't be embarrassed. Come out and have some fun.
Matthew Schweitz is one of 15 guys returning to the Pickles All-Star roster. Manager Nick Fleck is trying to round it out.
Here today, we're looking for a couple athletes that can maybe join the roster, join the vibe that we have in the dugout, and the community that we have in the stands. Oh boy, AJ.
If AJ's a new kid,
I'm the old kid.
Guys like Mike Gitz are what the All-Stars are all about here. Gitz played in college too, plus 4 years of independent ball, then nothing for 15 years. But he still got it.
I never thought at my age that I'd be able to pitch in front of people in the stands again. It feels great. I'll still be very nervous when the games start, but for now, it's fun to hang out.
The Pickles All-Stars will play 20 home games when the West Coast League Pickles are on the road.
When there's no baseball at all, you'll find soccer here at Lentz Park at this brand new soccer complex. It's where the Portland Bangers and the brand new Portland Cherry Bombs will play. Both teams excited to take the pitch.
To be part of the Portland family like this, everyone's showing out and just being like into it. We got to meet a bunch of the kids. Like, this is what it's all about.
For the fans to have fun and to also have fun, you know, give them what they want and just like seeing them on the stand cheering for us, that'll be best. We'll love that.
As for what it takes to be an All-Star fan, just show up.
It's the culture. You have to show your support all the time. And if you're coming to Lentz, you need to be in pickle gear.
There wasn't a game tonight, but the Pickles still won. In Southeast Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.